reflective of the realities on the ground. As you've noted, the damage to the infrastructure is going to be considerable. There's no guarantee that in spite of some early signs of international aid from places like the Gulf Arab states, that there will be enough reconstruction aid to rebuild Gaza after the war is over. And there is no guarantee that after the war is completed, that Hamas will necessarily be completely uprooted. They may move into an underground phase where they fight an insurgency against that governing authority. I think Israel's government and the United States aren't saying it out loud because they don't really have a viable plan. They just have a series of increasingly unattractive options.
Is the status of Hamas in any way clearer than it was before? This idea that they want to get rid of Hamas has always been, the top headline that they like to pursue. But as Netanyahu himself has clearly admitted, they've actually enjoyed having Hamas there and in many ways have supported the continued existence of Hamas. Has that policy now changed entirely?
Not entirely, because while Israel has said they're going to annihilate Hamas, we also need to remember they do have bases in Lebanon, they have bases in Syria, they have political leadership in Qatar. Israel is not going to be going to war in Qatar or even necessarily carrying out an assassination campaign against the political leadership that's in that country right now. So rather, what Israel's current security imperative is to take over the Gaza Strip, replace it with some other governing authority, and end the risk of rocket fire, missile fire, and large-scale infiltration. Beyond that, they are going to have to just deal with the idea of a potential long-term insurgency in the Gaza Strip and continued harassment from Hamas from Lebanon and Syria.
Yeah, but my point there being that Hamas has always been a useful tool for Israel, and they've used it as such, right? They've gotten a lot of political mileage about having Hamas there, and the claims that Hamas is preventing the path to a two-state solution, which has never really been entirely honest either. So my point simply being, Israel's whole strategy all this time has been divide and rule. They don't want to get rid of that tool, or do they? I mean, how are they going to play that position with the West Bank now? Because they're still active in the West Bank. They're still chewing away at that too. And that's the PA which they say they support.
Right. For this current Israeli government, which is in many ways a far-right government, they have absolutely welcomed the idea of an opposition group like Hamas torpedoing the two-state solution more or less permanently. And after this, they're going to need to find a new narrative in order to justify their current policies that involve the undermining of the two-state solution. They're also going to have to come up against the United States, which I think after this conflict is going to be looking closer at the Netanyahu government and its policies to see how they led up to this war, a war which the United States is not welcoming and that the United States considers a distraction, that it might pull them into a war with Iran while the United States is trying to confront Russia and Ukraine and China over Taiwan. The Americans are going to have to look into that relationship they've got with the Netanyahu government to see what they can do to try to prevent this from happening again. Because if there are no policies changed on the Palestinian side or for the Palestinians, we will look at another cycle of violence, whether it's in a couple of years or further down the line. It is inevitable.
Hi, I'm Emily Tan, and thanks for watching CNBC. You can check out more of our videos by clicking on the boxes on the screen, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more. Thanks for watching.